stranger in a white dress. She put a crown on top of my head. Said every king needs a queen in his bed. I said, hey girl, I'd like to stay here for a while, just you and I. Far from the places we can't get away from. She said, hey boy, I like your style. I'll let you play me for a while. Play me till the sun rises. Play me like a violin.
Good evening guys, and welcome to the stream. Obviously this is a pre-recorded video. This is mainly for YouTube, will be streamed on Twitch. I'm going to be showing you today how to set up your P3D V4 properly. Obviously my settings are going to be quite different to what your PCs are going to be using, but obviously it's just there to help you out in case you need it. I'm going to start off by showing you what my PTA will look like, what my active Sky will look like, and what my P3D settings will look like, and my CFG. So I'm going to start off by showing you what my CFG looks like. If you don't know where it is, you want to be going into your program files. No, not program files. Users, your name, app data, local, roaming, Lockheed Martin, P3D V4, and you would find your prepared thing just here. Get rid of that. So obviously mine is not really been touched. Obviously the settings you're seeing here will be in my P3D, which I will show you. The only thing I have added I think I've added two things, which is fiber frame rate time fraction 0.01, and I have also added texture size exp8, that is an underscore. I will add them in the description of the video, so you know what they are used for. You can go up to either 9 or 10 with this one, but I wouldn't recommend 10 unless you've got a very beastie PC that is probably running on nitrogen. But they're the only two tweaks I've added other than the normal one, which is, I don't even know if I've put it in. Usually it's an infinity mask, which I don't even think I have put in. I think I took it out. Yes, I took it out. Yeah, so don't put in an infinity mask, because P3D V4 does not require an infinity mask. So that is the settings for that. Then we will go into, obviously before you even start your sim, you don't want to be doing that yet. So you want to go into your Skyforce, because this would be the one you'd be starting up before you even start the sim, because you want to make sure that all your shaders for your scenery and stuff is all set out properly. My settings are quite normal. P3D V4 is set to where it is. I've enabled internal login, enabled auto backup and closing. Don't know why, but they're just normal. All update start, it doesn't really matter. Enabled update notifications is fine. Airports you don't really have to worry about. They're just if you want to put your favourite airports in. I've disabled the Rex weather engine. It's not needed. I'm using active Sky, so it's not requireable. In sim weather settings, I've disabled both of them. Weather general settings I've enabled. I haven't enabled auto load flight plan or that one. I've enabled in-sim green bar alert, but I don't know why, but I can take that out actually because it's not useful. Cloud sync, I've enabled real-time 3D clouds and models. That's just normal. Sync range shaft rendering. I've enabled all these, so sync supercell thunderstorm rendering, sync tornado cloud rendering, and sync roll cloud rendering. Clouds, pretty easy. Enable maximum cloud turbulent rendering, severe. Enable maximum thunderstorms turbulence rendering is severe. Same for cloud icing. Global cloud setting, I've disabled both of these. They're not required, but they're on few anyway. Thunderstorm lightning is enabled. Winds are both severe and enabled. Visibility, realistic haze rendering is enabled. Fog rendering, I've disabled that one because I don't use FSX or FSX Steam. I've enabled P3D volumetric fog rendering. Custom minimum and maximum visibility settings, I've disabled the first one. Second one is enabled to unlimited, and bottom one is disabled, and second one is unlimited. Installing, I've installed every single one of these, apart from that one. I don't see why I need it. Resolution, I've disabled them both. Low, obviously I have a risk of our out of memory error of 11%, but I've never had one. So my DX5 optimization is on. My textures are 2048 by 2048 HD. Same for the Cyro type clouds. Moon textures is 512. To be honest, who is actually going to look at the moon anyway? So there's no point having it. So you could. Mine's on the lowest. There's no point. You're not really going to be staring at the moon. Sun effect and direct settings, mine's enabled for HDR. If you don't use HDR in sim, you can put this one. Obviously I use this one because I have HDR. Sky, dawn, dusk and HDR settings are enabled for P3D. This one you can use it, well, obviously I use that because I have HDR on. Enable standard sky textures I've disabled. Other than that, my PTA, I don't use this PTA settings on here. I use this one here. That's the one I use. If you want to take note of that, that is quite a good one. Other than that, the clouds. This is the settings I use for this. So 3D clouds, autocolumnless. Can't even pronounce it. That's on. The rest of these off. Enhanced overcast cloud bases is on. Roll clouds is on. Lower precipitation is on. Visibility range shaft is on. There's no point for that, but Calvus range shaft is on. Tornado funnel is on. They are all installed. Other than that, that is it for that. And I can X that. Okay. I go on to PTA, which is this one. These are what I use. You probably heard of the guy. His name is Thopat. I use his 2.2 PTA settings, which you'll probably find on his website, which I'll link in the description below. Obviously with these I have got custom tweaks in. When it loads up it'll bring all these up anyway, but I took two things off. I took cloud directional lighting 3 off, and I have also took where is it? Cloud shadow extended size. I've took that out as well. These two are not required for the sim. Everything else is as it is. So just to let you know, so custom tweaks, I took out number 3, which is cloud directional lighting 3, and I have also took out cloud shadows extended size. Now there is that, and then we will go into active sky. Close that. My settings are pretty basic. So download intervals is 10. Prevent downloads on approach is ticked. that's not ticked. VATSIM online weather is not ticked. Not ticked. Auto load simulator files not required. That's already installed anyway. They're already installed anyway. Don't need them. This one I've got ticked, which is suppress local weather changes. Depict hurricanes, yes. Maximum cloud layers is 5. I've left it as default. There's no point changing it. Hold on, I've got itchy. Yeah. Max cloud turbulence. I've got it at 50. But that goes to 100 actually. I don't know why that was turned down. That was turned down as well. That's actually 100. Prevent storms on thunderstorms when CB reported. That's ticked. Maximum cloud draw distance is 65. And maximum is 100. False broken clouds is ticked. P3D low cloud offset is 0. Multiple layer thunderstorm clouds is not ticked because you don't really need it, to be honest. Not when you've got Rex using most of it. Wind options. Cloud motion effect is ticked, obviously that you need that. Wind options. Maximum surface wind is 50. Maximum wind turbulence is 50. That's wrong, that needs to be 100. Turbulence effect needs to be 70. They're default basically, I'll leave them at default, there's no point changing them. Maximum wind shear meant to be default 50. I don't know why I changed it. Interlayer wind interpolatation is ticked. Enhanced turbulence set true enchant. No, I've unticked that. You don't really want that. Wake turbulence is meant to be 50. Maximum downdraft rate, mine is set to 500. Wait, no, default, I need that default. I don't even know why they're moving. I think I might have pressed the easy option once. Oh, come on. I'll leave it at 102, that's fine. Oh, maximum, yeah, that's fine. Maximum downdraft rate, yeah, that needs to be there you go. Realistic thunderstorms, up and down draft, that's ticked. Random light chop turbulence percentage is 25. Visibility options, enable wing fade effect is ticked. Fog layer generation is ticked. Maximum surface visibility, minimum surface visibility is 0. Maximum surface visibility is 75. Maximum upper visibility is 125. Set maximum visibility when high altitude, set to a lower value to 6.95. Yeah, that's fine. So mine's 125 there. Including cloud visibility reduction is ticked. Low altitude volumetric fog is 0. High altitude is 0. Audio options, application startup turn off. These are not relevant. 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 I've unticked all the text boxes though because they are really annoying. Warning options, I'll leave that on. Warning of low simulator cloud density, ignore that. That's that. So these are the settings that I've got for mine. So that's all done. My settings for P3D is, and I'll load up in Sim as well. Norwegian. Let's hide D787 for now. I'm going to load up at, let's say, KIAH. Load anywhere. So obviously I'll show you my settings first before I actually load up. And so obviously my application start off, pause on task switch is ticked off, prompt on exit is ticked, Rest of these is not relevant. You can do what you want with them. Information. Now, information, if you want it as realistic as possible, you don't really want this information in here. I'll leave these in just in case I make a mistake. Weapon system I don't need. Stall system I don't need. Brakes. Top right corner. Parking brakes. Don't need the brakes. Slew mode. Don't use it. Overspeed. Don't need it. Don't need it. So parking brake pulls, that's all you need really. The rest of them you don't use if you're flying aircraft like I do. So show vehicle labels is off. Show messages login ATC, I don't need that. Show open ATC window, don't need that. Don't need that. Message text, you need that obviously if you're using vPilot. Rest of this is not useful. Sound, obviously my sounds actually are meant to be up fully, because I like mine loud. Traffic, I don't use traffic because I use UTL Live, which does it outside of the sim, so you don't need none of this. I do like a bit of traffic though. Ships is fine, leisure boats is fine. I'll leave them like that. Realism, ignore crashes, it's pointless. Don't use none of this because it's not really realism. Visual G effect, use radar, don't use. Ignore weight and all that shit, I'll lift that on. Display, obviously this is when you stop. I use Flight Sim Labs, FS Labs A320. So these settings are actually helpful towards the FS Labs. Sorry about that. So obviously the FX AA is off. The anti-analyzing is 4 times MSAA. Texture filtering is 8. My texture resolution is actually a bit higher than that, so that's mine. I use a resolution of 2560. VSync is off. Triple buffering is off. Target frame rate is unlimited. I use wide view aspect ratio because I have a widescreen monitor. Minimap VC panels is ticked. 2D panels transparency is 0. World level detail radius is ultra. Tessellation factor is ultra, so your GPU takes more of the load than the CPU. Mesh resolution is 10 meters. Texture resolution is 60. Water detail is medium. Wait, that's way too low. Yeah, so that's right. So 10 and 30. Use high resolution terrain textures is what I use. My scenery complexity is very dense. Auto draw distance is very dense. Auto vegetation density is very dense. Auto building density is very dense. I do not use flipping out, I'll get my words out in a minute. Dynamic 3D auto-gen vegetation. Enable bathymetry is off. Reflections is off. It's just a frame rate eater, you don't really want them. Special effects is pointless. Like fireworks and all that, you don't really need it. Turn them off. Lighting, I use HDR, so mine's enabled. My brightness is 100. Bloom is 30. Saturation is 80. Dynamic reflections I don't use. They are a frame rate eater, so mine are off. Dynamic lighting is on. Landing lights illuminate ground is on. Display lens flare is off. Shadow quality is high. Shadow draw distance is low. I have none ticked because that is also a frame rate killer. My cloud draw distance is 60 miles because that's all you really can see at your own eyes in real life, so there's no point going any higher. Cloud coverage density is maximum. Simple clouds is ticked off. Detailed clouds is ticked. Volumetry fog is ticked. Detailed precipitation is ticked. Windows shield effects is ticked. Simulation settings enable turbulence and thermal effect on vehicle is off. Wait, why is that off? No, that needs to be ticked, so ignore that. It's just the rate of which weather changes over time needs to be no change. Other than that, I think that is it. Let's make sure that's fine, and we'll load into the sim and we'll show you what my settings look like. What is going on with this? Takes a little while to load. So this is what my sim looks like. So you can see the difference. Inside the cockpit. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to turn all the lights on because I'm going to show you it in the dark as well. So I get smooth, obviously I get 50 odd frames with my settings. I have obviously mine are locked outside of the sim anyway. Yeah, that's all I've done, is just locked the frames in the video inspector. That's all I've done. But I run a GTX 1080 8GB overclocked with a i7 770K overclocked to 4.7. So that my settings. Obviously I'll show you what it looks like at night. Let's go into night. And then we should be done. Takes a while because obviously I have so many add-ons, it's unbelievable. So this is what my sim looks like at night. See. I get 25 frames at this airport, because obviously this airport is quite a scenery FPS ego. But I do get quite a lot. There you go, about 40. Go in cockpits around about 30. So if I just push back, you'll see. Turn on the strobes, and you'll see. You can see that the goodness of how good it looks. So the lighting effect on that, and then if I go into the wing, there's your wing views. We're looking quite noticeable. Yeah, so that is basically it. That's my sim, that's my settings. If you like the video, like and subscribe at the bottom, or follow me on Twitch, or Patreon, Twitter, I do stream mostly every day that I get a chance. But if you do like what you see, if you need any help with anything, just send me a message or hit me up on Twitch. Peace out.